Okay, this tutorial is going to teach you how to crop photos using CorelDraw. I'm using X7, but the concept's the same in most of the latest versions. I think 6 up, not X6, but actually CorelDraw 6 up, all the way to X7, which is 17. Works pretty much the same. We're basically going to go over here to the Artistic Media tool. To do the hair, and then we're going to originally start out with the Bezier tool, or the Bezier, however you want to pronounce it. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. I'm not going to crop the entire picture out on this. By the way, I'm zooming by just scrolling in and out. We're not going to crop the entire thing. We'll probably just stop it about right there. But we'll go ahead and start right here. And there's a number of ways to do it. We're actually going to probably use the B-spline just because it's a little bit quicker. The Bezier tool will work as well, but the B-spline is my preference just because it's a lot smoother. So the B-spline is actually in, I think it came in at X5, but you can get away with cropping with the Bezier tool as well. So B-spline, and then you basically just click, and then you just keep dragging, and you'll notice it's bending kind of smoothly. When you're finished, you're going to have a really nice smooth edge to everything. I'm just clicking as I go, following along just inside the edge of the image, and you just literally move your mouse up, and you kind of pan upwards, and it lets you keep going with without having to lose the connection of the tool itself. So you basically just push up, go all the way around. Now I'm going just inside. I'm actually cutting off the edges of the hair because I'm going to come back and do that later. So I'm kind of going up like this. Panning over and down. Always make sure you trim enough of it off so it makes a nice solid edge. And then you can put it on whatever background color you want. Alright, now I'm going to come back over here. And then once you click that last connector, it closes everything off. So now that you've got that cropped, you can click the image and hit X, which I've set a hotkey for that. It's basically effects, power clip, and then place inside container. But I've set it to X. I like the concept of X marks the spot. And then you put the tip of the arrow on the vector you just drew, and it places it inside the container. Now, what I like to do is edit the power clip, copy it, exit, paste, send it to the back, and then make it transparent so I can see where it's going to be. And then I'm going to go ahead and lock the object so I can click on top of it. And then I'm going to add my hair detail. So to do that, we're going to use the Artistic Media tool. And the way that tool works is you just draw a line, and notice how big and fat it is. We don't really want that. By the way, I'm using the rounded start, and then it tapers off to a small point. And then so I'm going to go lower down to probably, I don't know, probably 10, 7 or so. Okay, so that's good. Delete that, and then you just draw. And it puts a nice edge to everything, but it doesn't go outside the space. It's going to give a lot cleaner, more custom edge to that. But notice I'm not going outside the dark-haired area. It's a real light edge I'm putting on it. Control Z and undo that one. Alright, now that all of that is done, you can see how his hair is got a roughness to it. Then you basically take all of that and then break apart, and depending on how many of these you have, you can sometimes weld them together. But in this case it didn't let us because it kind of messed everything up. If you're only doing a few, it's not so bad. But what I like to do is hit Q, which is another hotkey that I did. It's just convert to bitmap, make it a black and white bitmap, and hit OK. And then outline trace, I do detailed logo, and then hit OK. And then weld that. Basically, let me show you what I made there. I made just a vector. If you go to wireframe, you can see it's just solid outline. It basically converted all those lines to the outline version of it. And then I hold shift and weld it to the outline that I drew earlier. And there's the vector. Nice and perfect. Detail that you get in the hair. Now you can always adjust it and bring it in some. Like there's a few spots that are light. But let's put it on a background that is darker. So if you want to bring his hair in some, you can actually just bring it in like that, depending on what you're wanting to do. I mean, he basically gets a haircut, but it's less white. No frosted tips. It's actually a lot easier with women's hair because there's less, you have a lot more room to adjust. So there's that. And then of course when you convert that to a bitmap, it'll look nice when you're doing a transparent PNG out of it. So there it is. He's got nice detailed hair. There's a couple of other ways to do it. I mean, you could manually go up and down in each one of those, but I just like to do the pieces. I probably should have done shorter lines and closer in, but that's pretty much how you'll get the sharp edges on his hair. I mean, you can fine tune and give him a haircut if you want to trim it in anymore, but you get the concept. So that's it.